Hello, teacher. Welcome to this little presentation. My name is Diego Arias. To be explaining the data analysis process that we have done so far in our graduation project. This is part of the Opción de Grado 3 subject, module 2, called Integración y aplicación del análisis, estructura argumentativa. So I'm going to be explaining the most important parts of the data analysis process. All right. Well, as I before, my name is Diego, and I did the I'm working in this with my classmate Miguel, and then the name of the is defining pedagogical actions for strengthening bilingualism area in a higher education institution in Bogota. It's important to remember the name of the project. This little video is going to go on this topic, research questions, the methodology, and the data analysis process for this. Okay. First part is to remember the research and objectives. First question is how to articulate the bilingualism program alignments of a higher education institution with pedagogical management to provide action to the students' language proficiency. This is our main research question to keep in mind. Additionally, we got this main objective, which is to determine contributions through an action plan focused on pedagogical management for the bilingualism program and the students' English language levels improvement in a higher education. And along with this main objective, we got the specific objectives as well. The first one is analyze students' perceptions of their English learning process in relation to the pedagogical management of the English program at a higher education institution. The second objective is to assess the effectiveness of the English language hybrid model, including the use of the virtual platform Alticia at the higher education institution. And finally, develop recommendations for to address identified gaps support students' learning. These specific are taken into account for this project. Okay, now related to the methodology, it's important to specify that the type of study of this project is a descriptive study. It's a descriptive study as because it is focused on trying to describe a specific phenomenon or situation happening in a real life context, and also some characteristics of a case study as we are focusing on a specific context, as we said before, or I said before, higher education institution. For the methodology, we selected a problem and we got the definition of objectives as I showed before. Then we took a representative sample choice from select participants. Then we data through the applied instruments. And finally, we analyzed the obtained results and related them with the project's objective. This is pretty much the methodology that we used. All right, so for selection or for selecting the this project, we considered some students from the bilingualism area, or basically from the university, the higher education institution, some teachers belonging to the bilingualism area as well, and the coordinator of the area, as it was an important stakeholder of the project itself. Here you can observe also the criteria for selecting these participants and also the implementation of instruments. It's important to clarify that as all of these instruments were already applied, we are still in the process of analyzing the data of these instruments. So we are still going on it. Then the collection instruments, well, we selected three instruments, surveys or forms for students, surveys done or applied better, applied to both the face-to-face modality students and the virtual modality students that we have in the university. Then we some semi-structured interviews to the teachers of the bilingualism area and the coordinator. And also we got some non-participant class observations as they were connected to the third objective or a specific objective of this project. At the to the first object, also the same structure connected to the second object. Tried to connect instruments with the objects that we had for the search or for the project, basically. And then now going into the data analysis process, we selected a thematic analysis because as it is a descriptive study, it was a very the best option that we found for this analysis was a thematic analysis, as it allows us to identify patterns in how pedagogical management practices influence the bilingualism program and student outcomes, which, as you can observe, it is our and main objective as well. For this data analysis process, we tried or we implemented a deductive and an inductive process that I'm going to explain this moment. The deductive process basically selected some a priori codes taken from and compared, or let's say connected with the authors that we have in our literature review. So here we can see a little example of your a priori code related to the description for an author, and then we have some excerpts, some little parts of one of the instruments, in this case, the structure interviews. And after this analysis, we got some interpretation of this initial code, and that we compared later when we did the inductive process or when we made the inductive process. For the inductive process, here you can see an example in which we took excerpts or parts taken literally the instruments, so the data from the instruments, and observe also from the same structure interview. Then we related them theory that we got in review, and then there were emerging codes, as you can observe example, that were later read to give a little of organic this code. After having done both the deductive and the inductive, we initial emerging category, basically three categories as you can observe in this chart. It's important to mention these categories just initial. They can when we finished checking out all the data that we have so far. For example, in this moment, we just got contextual design, meaningfulness, hybrid education and implementation relevant, and English language learning for current societal demands. These are the initial categories that we have. We got some associated themes or subcategories possible, and we got some emerging codes to get categories. The process that we have are, it's important to clarify one more time that we're in the process of analyzing the rest of the data got it from the instruments. Thank you very much for your attention, and that'll be all for today.